Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you my top tips for getting through an MRI scan if you are autistic or if you just really are dreading the thought of an MRI. This could be for you too. MRIs can be really scary in general, but I think for autistics it's a lot more difficult because of the whole sensory aspect of it. First of all, I just want you to know that you can do it. I was absolutely dreading it. I don't know why, but I feel emotional thinking about it now. It's not a nice thing to have to go through anyway, but you can get through it. The thing that you need to focus on the most is that you're doing this because you want an answer, or you want to work towards getting an answer for whatever your symptoms are. I've had, I guess, technically 4 MRIs now over the past month, but in 2 sessions. The reason I've been sent for so many MRIs is because of chronic pain. We still don't really know what the reason for my chronic pain is at the moment, but I'm on the journey and finding out. So the first time I went for an MRI, they did my full spine, sacroiliac joint and thoracic joint. The second time I went for an MRI was last week actually, and I had my pelvis and abdominal area done. The first tip I would give before anything is to write down a list of questions that you might have for the radiographer. For example, and this is something I did, I wanted to know how long it would take, if tattoos were okay, if I could bring someone in with me for my appointment. I feel like this helps you have more control over the whole thing, which is something we like as autistics. Don't be afraid to ask as many questions as you need to ask. They're there to help you. This is your experience, and if they can make this experience for you any less painful, it's not painful, I mean emotionally, then they will help you. This is probably the tip I would give that actually helped me the most, and that is, before you go for your MRI, I would go on YouTube and Google what an MRI sounds like, because if I'd never did this, I think that the whole thing would have been a whole lot scarier. I know for a fact that would have freaked me out when I was in the MRI. So if you know what kind of noises to expect when you're in the MRI, I think it's less of a shock to the system. I'm not gonna lie, the noises aren't fun. A few of the noises I felt were louder than others, and the noises don't go on constantly either. That is something that I thought was going to be the case, but it wasn't. There was like little gaps in between the long sequences of noises as well. I would recommend you requesting that someone comes in with you. You are allowed to do this. It's fine. The only thing is, they ask the person coming with you to fill in a questionnaire, a bit like you do before you go in, just like a safety questionnaire, nothing too tedious. And second of all, they also have to come not wearing any metal. Both times I had my partner Dan sit at the end of the bed, so he was close by to me, and having him there helped me feel more safe. The first time they actually did say to him that he can hold my foot, which I felt was really nice, because just having the touch is really calming. Next, I would say wear comfortable clothing. So for me, I went wearing a band t-shirt, and I didn't wear a bra. Don't go in a bra, because it's just another thing to have to remember to take off, and you just want it to be smooth sailing. So a t-shirt and trousers with an elasticated waistband. The first time I had to take off my trousers and wear a gown, which wasn't too bad, but the second time I was able to just go as I were, which was really comforting as well. Being in my own clothes, I felt a lot more safe and comfortable. One thing you could do is you could pack your pyjamas and you could get changed there into your pyjamas if you wanted to, if that's more comfortable for you. Another thing you could do, I didn't do this, but one thing you could do is you could request to go for a viewing beforehand, just so you get a feel for what the place looks like and the layout, because that can be terrifying in itself anyway. What I did was I googled what it looked like, so I had like a kind of mental vision before I got there. This would probably actually be my number one top tip, and this is something I did both times, and this is something that I'm learning to do now with medical professions, because I feel like it's been absolutely life-changing, and that would be to disclose your diagnosis to them. Just tell them, straight up tell them, I'm autistic, I'm struggling with this, and they'll be there to help you. Like, I feel like being able to tell people now, in this situation and in other like doctor situations, I feel like it's, with most of them, there'll always be one or two that are like a bit, I don't know, I felt like they kind of felt a bit more nurturing towards me, is that the word? Just like looking out for me. Like especially the second time that I went, it was two ladies and they were amazing. I got upset and they were telling me it's okay, like guiding me through like even the smallest little steps, like telling me exactly what was happening at every point of the procedure. She even made sure that I had a blanket and stuff, like asked me if I wanted one, but I didn't have to ask myself. Which leads me to my next point, ask for a blanket. If they don't ask, you can ask for a blanket. This won't be for everyone, but this helped for me. Wear an eye mask. Seriously, I did not want to see where I was. I just wanted to retreat to my own place. Just pretend it wasn't happening as much as you could do and just get on with it. Like, I feel like if I didn't have a face mask on, that would have freaked me out. So you can wear a face mask and they provide them there anyway. So the first time I went, he gave me just earphones. So that's what they played the music through, and obviously it's noise cancelling. But the second time they gave me earphones and earbuds. I would highly recommend making sure they give you both, because the first time was a lot louder than the second time. The second time the noises didn't bother me like at all, really. Like I could barely hear it, it was like faint. But the first time there was times in the sequences where it was painful for me. There was one point towards the end where I actually felt that it was louder than any of the other sequences that get my words out. It was louder at one point, and that did start to make me get worked up. I got through it, but yeah, that there was a point where I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to get out. So yeah, ask for both. And also, you might find that the music they play is not very loud. I had to ask for them to turn it up both times because you can't really hear it over the rumbling of the machine. So yeah, just ask them to turn it up. If you're having a long scan, tell them that you would like a break. It helps so much. Unless you wouldn't like a break, you might just want to get through it. That's fine. But for me, a break helped because I was able to get up and stretch my legs, go to the toilet. You know, it's really difficult sitting there for that long. Which leads me to the next one. Obviously, you can't move. You're not allowed to take stimming toys in there. So what you can do is, and you could ask them beforehand as well, just to make sure. But most of the time, and I did this and they didn't say anything anyway, was wriggle your toes. Wriggle your toes or finger tap, you know, because your arms are by your side anyway. Or they might be above, depending on where they're doing the scan. But for me, wriggling my toes helped me to stay still for longer. So some extra bits of advice or information I would give to add on to that was, remember, you are not trapped. At any point you can get out. You are in charge of this MRI, not the machine, not the radiologist. Yeah, he's doing his job, that's fine, crack on. But you're in charge. If you don't like it, if you want to get out and have a breather, get out and have a breather. It doesn't matter how long it takes. If it takes longer than what it's expected, as long as you get through it, that's fine. Get through it how you need to get through it. You need to go into like a kind of meditated state, if possible. Just think about your special interest. For me, it was easier because I was listening to music, which is my special interest. So for me, I was listening to the music and I was either picturing the music videos, like replaying them in my head, or I was pretending in my head that I'm at a gig. And I was also tapping my feet along to the music, which really helped. Another tip, plan something for afterwards. Something nice, something you enjoy. And it doesn't have to be straight afterwards. It could be the next day or in a couple of days. It could just be like your favourite treat. You just need something that's a reward to reward yourself for getting through this, because you are bloody amazing for doing so. And one thing to bear in mind, I'll leave you with this, is you will be exhausted afterwards. That's just the nature of the game. You know, we get more exhausted by things than your average Joe does, and that's fine. We need more time to recover. That's fine. I was floored for a couple of days afterwards. Like, that's just what it is. Take the time to recover. You don't have to do something straight away afterwards. Go for a nap. Don't feel guilty about it. Get on that sofa and have a nap. One thing you should also bear in mind is they do give you like a alarm kind of thing. So if any point you want to get out, or you need a reassurance, or you have a question, don't be afraid to press that button, because that's exactly what it's there for. And if you do need to get out, that's fine. Like, that is absolutely fine. Just bear in mind mentally that you should try and get through the sequence first, because unless you can't, that's fine. But if you was to press the buzzer while you're in the sequence, you will have to repeat that whole sequence again. So I would say mentally just try and remind yourself that if I don't press the buzzer, then this is going to go a lot quicker. So I hope this helped. If you have any other questions regarding MRIs, and I'm not an expert, but you know, I have been through quite a few now, so I probably am not quite an expert. I've had a full body MOT, what can I say? Like, if you've got any questions whatsoever, let me know in the comments. Doesn't matter if you see this in a year's time, 2 years time, I'll get back to you, and hopefully I can be somewhat help. Or if you have any other tips for other people, drop them in the comments as well, because there might be some other things that I haven't thought of. I can't think of anything that I haven't thought of, but I guess that's the point. I feel like I was pretty thorough with it. Like, yeah, I planned the whole thing before it even happened. So yeah, I hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.